We are the vision. We are the action. Give us your trust. Love is our reaction. Today you are so visible, so visible, so visible, so visible. Hope is the road you're walking. Trust is the door you're knocking. Sleep with both eyes closed now, safe. We got your back now.
Hi everyone, welcome back to The Vision, the podcast. I'm Carly, so I'm involved in The Vision, and we are so grateful that you have come back to listen and watch to episode 2 of The Vision, the podcast. So today's episode, we are so thankful that Salva Support, an organisation who are close to our hearts and are local to our local authority, have sponsored this episode. Salva Support do incredible things to support young people aged 16 to 18, and Christmas is also close to their hearts because they are involved in their local authorities' care leavers, hamper appeal, and they do incredible things to make sure that all of their young people have a magical Christmas. So to hear more about Salva Support, click on the link below. And again, thank you so much for your support, Chris and the team at Salvus. So today we are going to talk all things Christmas. I'm smiling as I say that, but actually there is so much to Christmas and this festive period that isn't always smiles and isn't always kind of jingle bells and all of the things that warm our hearts. There's a lot of things that happen around that festive period. But to start off, I'm going to take you over to Demi and Josh, who hopefully you're really familiar with. Demi first is going to give you a little bit of a catch-up of what's happened since we last met.
I know.
So over to you, Dem.
Do you know what? It's so weird to be back, but we've just been saying then, it just feels like home, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it feels like we've just come back and we're settling in, and if I hit this mic one more time, I'm going to go mental, right? I swear to God. Yeah, so a little bit of an update really from last time we've seen you, or last time you've seen us really. I mean, I passed my driving test, which is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah!
I know.
And she hasn't crashed yet.
I've not crashed one. I did actually nearly knock my wind mirror off, but despite that, I've done really well. But that was only getting into my drive, so it was okay. Yeah, we've been chilling really. I feel like we've done a lot of speaking to the young children and stuff like that. We did a group on the Tuesday like we normally do. We had a bit of a catch up with them.
And Demi's been my part-time carer, but I'm trying to hide this well. And Josh has too, and everyone else at the Vision. We did an activity that was for the month to celebrate young people who care experience. Decided to go rollerblading, decided to absolutely hit my backside on the floor and do 3 fractures in my elbow. So Demi's been the designated driver, sometimes putting my socks and shoes on.
literally did.
I was there when she got brought through, and I was like, "Is that Carly?" The next minute, I just seen you cry, and I've never seen you cry.
Ever.
And I was like, "Yeah, she's really hurt herself here."
So here is the cast, guys, just in case you need to see it.
That is
Wonderful.
proof.
That is why we're delayed on episode 2, so I apologise, but times are hard and you have to do these things.
It is what it is.
So Josh, I'm going to come over to you to tell everybody where we were at the weekend.
Yeah, so at the weekend, we were at a very special event. It was the Pride of St. Helens, and we came runners-up. In first place, we had Elizabeth Hill, who's been doing 50 years of a dance school, so it was amazing that she was able to win and be able to get that recognition. But more importantly, we got recognised and were highly commended. So if you want to get involved in the Vision, there we go. We got an award to say get involved with us.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was an amazing night. There was a lot of moves going around the dance floor.
There was?
Yeah, it was incredible to see everybody in the community who does such positive things to make that community better, and especially because we felt a bit of negativity online. It was nice to see everybody come together and see all those positive people in the same room together, really. And I think some of the stories from the night were incredible. Have you got any favourites?
Oh, there's so many. There was just listening to the community in terms of, again, thinking about when people have been through really difficult things, turning that around. There was people who'd lost children who had won awards for the incredible charitable work that they'd done, and then a lady gone on to be a midwife because she'd lost her child, and it was just so powerful. And we just didn't stop smiling in terms of, actually, like you said, Josh, you can be surrounded at times by negativity, but actually being surrounded by so much positivity and spreading love in a borough that has a lot of poverty and has a lot of things that are happening that could be deemed as negative. It was just lovely that people were there to celebrate, and for me it was everybody was celebrating each other. Like, we didn't stop smiling.
Honestly.
And for the foster carers award, because that's
what
the
I was
first
about
time.
to say. It was the nicest thing I think I'd ever seen. The amount of people that stood up and was applauding them afterwards was so nice, and I think there isn't a lot of recognition for the things that are going well in the community. And I think there was a gentleman that's been running this butty shop that we go to all the time, right? And he was the cutest, most gorgeous little old man I think I've I can't believe it, getting up on that stage and just speaking from his heart. You could tell the passion was there, and I think that's something that you see when you're in them environments. Being there, I think it was a privilege to me. I think I would have never been able to have that opportunity to meet the amazing people doing amazing things, and I think it's just nice that we all get to recognise each other and things. It was nice.
Like I said to Carly as well, that was part of our vision. Everybody in that room was part of our vision to empower others, to turn those visions into actions and make the change in the world.
Exactly, I love it, John.
So I mean, we came runners up, but I wouldn't care if we came last place.
No,
in somewhere like that, because
we're all winners. I think.
At the end of the day, everyone there was winners. Yeah. Everyone's doing a bit for the community, and it was recognised the other night, and 100%. It was incredible.
And that was what was lovely in terms of being surrounded by so many things in terms of people and organisations. And if we think about that, when we were talking about this particular podcast, we talked about Christmas is such a buzzword and can be really difficult. But actually that event being at the end of the year, we said actually we wanted this podcast to be about talking about all of the things that people have achieved and all of that positivity, and being surrounded by that can really lift you up. Yeah. So I don't know whether we reflect about that as a group. And for me, looking around our table, I begged the organisers to say, please can we have more tickets because we can't not bring people. So we ended up with a table of 10 of us on that table. And seeing everybody's individual journeys over the last year, for me, was like a highlight for the end of the year. And it doesn't have to be Christmas and December seem to be what's spoken about, but what is it that we can focus on of what's been achieved for 2025. So I don't know whether you want to talk about that in terms of what you feel that individually you've achieved, what we've achieved as a team.
Yeah, I think individually, so I moved businesses, didn't I? Went to a new organisation. That was massive for me, to be surrounded by, again, positive people. And that's contributed to my own mental health.
100%.
It supported me in that role, and it's also allowed me to spend a lot of time with the vision as well. And obviously we've got close relationships between my organisation and the vision, which has been able to have a positive impact on the kids that I support as well. So I think that was just this year, that was massive, to get in the right organisation and get around the right people. And it's been amazing. And I think I've got my driving lesson in 3 weeks, so the pressure's on me now. So that's one thing I wanted, was to get my driving licence. So hopefully in 3 weeks. The pressure's on me now because Demi's got hers, so the pressure's on me. So
I cannot wait to have 2 designated drivers and not be the one driving.
You'll never drive again.
Literally.
Do you know what though as well? I feel like for me, what I've seen a lot this year is, and I know Megan's gonna, sorry I've not mentioned this, have we? But we have got a special guest later on, but Megan's gonna touch on this. The amount of things that we've done together this year and the amount of things that we've managed to bring everybody together. And I think that's something that I've really benefited from it personally, because I don't really get out much. So now that I've passed my test, and that honestly I do feel like I'm free. Do you know what I mean? But then I also feel like I've got a lot more time. I've gone and I've taken part in so many different activities. I've brought my little brother with me. I've managed to bring so many people together. I've met other people, and I think that's something that I think is really important, because Christmas can feel so lonely, and sometimes you can feel like you're around a million people but still feel alone. So I feel like as long as you've got specific people that you feel like you can trust, people that you feel that you can genuinely really feel settled with, honestly, it makes the big world of a difference. And I think that's something that, like last year for me, and I don't think anybody really knows this, but I spent Christmas with you, and me spending Christmas with you last year was really, really, I felt, again, privileged, but I felt like I'd fitted in somewhere, and I didn't feel like I was sort of getting in the way. I felt like everyone was just sort of accommodating me, and I feel like that's because I'm not an outsider. I'm like, and that, I think that's something that I really struggled with being in Kerr, was thinking that I literally had it written on my forehead, so then when any special occasion happened, I have to be treated differently. I don't know if that makes sense. But like, but it doesn't. Like, I don't have to be treated any differently because my parents aren't there to help me celebrate such an event or whatever. And I think that's why it made me feel so lovely and feel like I had more of a community around me and more of a network with people, because everyone was so willing to just take me under the wing, and it was just, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it.
I think with you, Demi, as well, I think like, even over the past year, I've seen your development so much. Like, even from when I first met you, like, it's incredible how far you came, you know what I mean? And you're literally just an amazing person. So,
Joshua.
I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Yeah. Get a bit cheesy in here.
I know, Josh hates the cheese. If we think about Christmas then, so Dem, you've just spoke about that of last year, about for me, last year was going to be tough for you for different reasons, as in it was first Christmas with anniversaries, and that was a big thing for me, as in making sure that every person in our little bubble, in our vision bubble, had that support around, and everybody needs something different. And I think something that's really important is each year at Christmas, you may feel different and you may need something different. So I love the fact that actually as an organisation and as individuals, we talk about that. Josh, in the car, you spoke about actually this Christmas, I'm going to do something different because that feels right for me. And actually us recognising, Dem, I would love this Christmas you to be like, right, I'm cooking Christmas dinner. My dad's coming and picking my brother up and doing this and doing that. And that's right for you. And actually, or equally, if you go, can I spend Christmas with you? 100%, those things are so important. And I think that's where, again, when we think about Christmas, we can sometimes have like blanket things that we do.
I was thinking that exact same thing. Go on, carry on.
Blanket things that we do. And actually, does it matter? Do you have to even have Christmas on Christmas? Can we have things that we celebrate? We said earlier, what traditions can you kind of bring in that might be, I'm going for a massive walk, I'm doing all of these things?
I personally think Christmas has become more of a fashion statement now. I feel like Christmas was all tacky. You make your paper chains, you hang them from the ceiling, you have tinsel everywhere, you have them weird things that pull out in a star that hang from the ceiling. Like, to me, that's what Christmas is. And I feel like people have got the lovely little white trees with the gorgeous little cream thing. Oh, bugger off. Like, get your greens out, get your reds out, get the blues out. Let's do that. Not the blues, let's do the reds. Up the reds. But
that's Man United, by the way, not Liverpool, and Josh is going to hate it.
Right, Demi's going now.
Literally not.
But one thing you forgot to mention there is all the food. I absolutely love the food at Christmas.
Can't go wrong with the Christmas food.
All the scram.
Josh, can we talk about something then? We're going to talk about, and you said we've got a really special guest, Megan, who's coming to join us to tell us all about the local authority Christmas appeal and how much of an impact that has. And we're fortunate enough around this kind of table, chairs, that we've all been heavily involved in that. So if I just give a bit of a backstory and then hand over to Josh and Demi in terms of the impact of it. So a few years ago, I want to say about 5, I'm terrible with timing, about 5 years ago, I think it was, one of the personal advisors who is involved in what's called the Leaving Care service, so the Futures team in St Helens, approached me, as at the time I was managing that team, and she said to me, we do a Christmas appeal that's for the younger children, and the younger children get gifts and there's a big response in terms of local community. But actually, what about the young people who from 16 upwards, still, they want something for Christmas, they may be isolated, they still might not have that family network. What about those young people? So we kind of like scratched our heads and said, you're 100% right. Imagine a young person at 18 years old in their own first home, whether that's a flat, whether that's a house, and actually waking up with nothing at Christmas. You might be 18, but you're still developmentally a child. You still deserve to have all of those things. So at the time, it was what's called Child Takeover Day. So Child Takeover Day was happening where children were taking over the roles of senior people within the council. And there was a young person called Jack, and he's incredible, and he worked closely with us when we were younger. Jack took over the job of the chief executive that day, and he said to the chief executive, this is what we want to do. How are you going to make it happen? And it was the end of November. And we were like, how are we going to make this happen in about 2 weeks? And what was absolutely amazing, we put it out there. We kind of like, absolutely hammered emails, phones going round, and we ended up with about £7,000 donated and inundated with kind of gifts and stuff. And that was when the Christmas appeal was first kind of started. And from there, it's grown arms and legs. Young people have got huge things in relation to kind of items that they want. And the big thing, what Josh has said, we put kind of little food things together of goodies and whether that's staple foods that you need. And that was a big thing for you, Josh, and you've talked about that, so I wanted to come over to you.
Yeah, that was massive. So when I was younger, I was very I was very isolated around Christmas, so it was a very difficult time for me. And then one year, Carol, my personal advisor, came around with this hamper, and I was absolutely buzzing with it. And yeah, it had loads of tons of food in, and at that time, I was not looking after myself properly, so I weren't going food shopping. I was kind of just nipping the corner shop, grabbing whatever. So to get all that bit of food, I could put it, stock it up in my cupboards, and it felt good. And then one year I got a Kindle. So I was absolutely made up with this Kindle. So I read one book and I don't think I ever looked at it ever again. But
I feel like I remember getting that same Kindle.
Yeah,
I think I got one.
I think everyone got one. And yeah, I don't think I utilised as much as I should have.
No.
But I read one book. But little things like that go a far way. So one thing we've done this year, haven't we, in the Tuesday groups, the Inner Spark Out of Voice groups, is that we went around to all the young people and the children, and we've said, what do you think should be in those hampers? So to see how much it's developed since Jack brought it up 2 weeks before Christmas to now, we're a bit more prepared now, aren't we? With getting all the new ideas off the kids, and they've come up with some amazing
Christmas cards as well, Josh.
Yeah. And then now the kids create their own Christmas cards, put positive messages in that then go out to 500 young people in St. Helens.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the thought, really. So again, when we started it, I used to hate the fact that it was like generic hampers, and actually we then said to the personal advisors, tell us what your young person's interested in. Do they love cats? Do they love motorbikes? Do they have this? And then we literally would have a list of, for example, Demi loves cats, right? We've got a cat calendar here that's going in a hamper. We're going to have somebody loves candles. What does that mean to them? We're going to make sure that when you open that, you think somebody's thought about me. So actually those types of things are so important.
That's what I feel like in the beginning with when we was receiving the hampers. I remember receiving one and it was like the generic Lynx box sprays or whatever. And then it's like, I like it, but I don't really smell that much, do you know what I mean? So thanks for the offer, but like kind of no thank you anymore. And I think that's like last year, I think I got some sprays and stuff, and I think it's nice, but what else would be good, like you said, whether that's that cat calendar or whether it's the fact that it could be. And to me, I don't think it always has to be gifts. I think it could be like experiences. Why don't you book someone on, like if they really like go-karting, get them a course for go-karting, get them a course for doing whatever it is. Why can't we do things like that as well? And I think that and especially for 16 upwards, if they are living on their own or semi-independent, or they are whatever that is, if they can't afford to be having a hobby, because it can be really, really difficult to do that, and to go and do and enjoy things, why is it that we can't have them things offered for us or made out? So right, we've got you now, we've got 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, and you can go and do that. And I think that would be more helpful than someone spending the money on loads of random little rubbish. That's what I think.
So is this one of your recommendations?
It is,
so,
it is, yeah.
Luckily, we've got Megan with us, the care experience champion. So write that down in your notepad.
But what's amazing as well is we know that time of year can be difficult for people. And what's been lovely in our local authority, there's been a whole month of activities to kind of do those things, go go-karting, go rollerblading, do all of those things. And actually, instead of when Christmas might be a difficult time, doing those things on the run-up to kind of see you through, do you know what I mean? In terms of like see you through at a time where it might be tough. Be like,
you're not alone, you've got all these people around you, and to see all the like care leavers smiling and just laughing, and they're making new friends, and like they're coming up and speaking to us and talking about some of their own personal issues, and we're able to give them some advice and tell them they're not alone, and we've experienced similarities, and you can get through these difficult times. Goes a long way, but I think, and then rollerblading for you.
Never again, ever. But the side as well of building support networks, because again, somebody said to me, and it stuck with me, why do we kind of focus on putting loads of activities on. Obviously, activities are really good around Christmas to keep people busy, but let's actually have that one-to-one conversation with somebody to say, what have you got in place in terms of your individual plan for that time? Are you going around to your best friends? Are you going to go, and if you don't want to be around people, as in kind of go into that family situation, can you go and volunteer? Can you go to a community centre? And actually, I said to Demi in the car, a community centre that we work closely with, Park Farm, they're incredible and they do amazing things. They said to me, which really stuck with me, they put an event on one year and it was for people who might have been isolated, as in Christmas dinner at the centre. And actually they said to me that there was a lot of people who'd offered to volunteer their time at Christmas to support that event. But actually when they dug a bit deeper, those people who were volunteering their time were the people that were going to be isolated. So actually you might not want to tell somebody that you're going to be alone. So putting something else on to say, oh, how can you help others? It's so rewarding when you want to help others.
And if you do want to spend it alone and just eat loads of chocolate and watch some Christmas
Do you want to be
movies.
a Grinch, mate? You be a Grinch. But also, don't be a Grinch and sad, because that's just not okay. You can be a Grinch and mad, that's fine. But don't be Grinch and sad, because we have to turn that frown upside down, my love.
Well, that's what I mean of like, we talk about that, don't we, as in you're going to have different emotions at different times and the festive period can be tough. What would be, I suppose, your advice if you're a young person, if you're an older person, if you're somebody who's just lost somebody, what would be your advice in terms of kind of through that festive period, how to support yourself?
I think it's dealing with those emotions. I think every year, like you said, every year I've felt different around Christmas. I've started maturing, I've started understanding the world around me a lot better. But life looks completely different now to when I was 17. I was spending it alone and I was really upset. But now I kind of get on with it. I've got everything I need around me to enjoy Christmas. And yeah, it's nice. I think for me, it's nice giving back to the community. It was nice seeing all the care leavers getting involved, seeing all of them with smiles on their faces. And I think that goes a long way. And that's what makes me happy. And I think it's not always about taking. When you're younger, it's like, oh, what am I getting? Am I getting the Xbox? And like when you get older, it's not that. It's about giving, isn't it?
I feel like the real, exactly that. The real meaning for Christmas, I think, has kind of been lost in translation over the years, because I feel like I said, like it's not. I don't feel like it's made for how it's supposed to be, but also I feel like there is a lot of times that I don't even personally think about special occasions. I would class obviously Christmas as a special occasion, but it's the same as like my birthday. So my birthday's in a couple of days and I completely forgot it was my birthday, and I keep being reminded every other day that it's my birthday, and I'm thinking, oh my god, yeah, it's my birthday.
She told me 5 times today.
I know. Only in this room, isn't like as I've got here. That it's because over time, because I've never really had the best experiences in the past, I've really struggled with like leading up to when it's happening. My brain goes into a bit of like a survival state and I completely blank it all out.
I think that whole concept of the meaning and doing things with meaning, and I wanted to talk about this because I think it's just so powerful. Of one of the things when the hampers started was actually when you receive something, it makes you smile and it makes you think about either how that's made you feel or actually what's behind that, what's the meaning behind it. And we've got something behind me that I just wanted to show everybody. So we said, actually, why don't we put something that's kind of a meaningful message or a meaningful poster or anything in the hamper, so actually even if somebody's having a really bad day or struggling, they can look at that and actually kind of just give them a little bit of oomph. And why it's so important is that started, and then actually one of the young people who we used to support and care for, sadly she passed away, and actually what we said was her sister then carried on that tradition of carrying on that message and that kind of meaning in terms of posters, so every young person has that within their hamper. So what I think is so important to that is then I would go and visit young people, or the personal advisors or other young people would visit, and they would see those posters and that frame in the house. So just for those who are listening, the frame on here that was kind of dedicated to that particular young person, and it is every year, it says, be kind, be brave, be silly, be honest, be happy, be you, live your best life. And those things in terms of meaning, when I speak to young people about this is why this is important, it makes you think about gratitude. It makes you feel grateful of what you've got around you. And I think that's so important around some of those things, that we need to remember that actually, even though we might be having a difficult time, we might be in a position where actually, what do we need to think about to get us out of that hole, like we talked about in episode 1? What do we need to think about to actually say, this particular young person wanted to live their best life, and actually you might not have the people around you, but can you go, like you said, Josh, help in the community? Can we support to go, actually, if I just want to eat chocolate and just be me and be happy, that's okay too, which is a huge, huge thing. And just before we kind of bring our special guest in, I wanted Josh to say something about that in terms of if you could look back and give your 17-year-old self some advice around that festive time, what would it be?
I don't know. I used to love a good party.
Yeah, I know you did. Which isn't ideal.
I was probably at some Christmas event or.
Wait a minute, can you use it in words of like the kids? It's not a party, what is it?
A gaff.
There we
go. Yeah. So I used to have because I was the first 17-year-old to have my own gaff. I'd have all my mates round. We had the house warm and all that, and everyone would come round to ours. And it was a bit lonely at Christmas though when all my mates went, but it was nice to have all my mates around them. Like, they were very supportive, even though I've already talked about this, even though some of the things we'd done were a bit negative, but we were at that age.
But what could you have done, Josh, in terms of kind of that more positive step? Because obviously that was a really dark time for you.
Yeah.
Thinking about that positive advice.
For me, it was a very dark time. Yeah, and I still don't know how would I have dealt with that. I was dealing with a lot, so
yeah.
Again, just go through those emotions, but look after yourself. I think that's one thing I didn't really do, is spiraled out.
Yeah.
Instead of, I didn't reach out to some of my friends, so my friends would then go home and then it would be me left with all my emotions, and that's when I'd see myself spiral out. And none of my mates even knew I was feeling like this. So again, speak out to your mates. You don't have to go through it alone. And if you haven't got any mates, then
shame.
Ring.
I'm joking. Sorry.
But actually,
no, ring, message us, speak to your PA, speak to Megan. You can we're all your friends here. Don't listen to Demi.
Definitely don't listen to Demi on that one. But actually, the reality of your friends at that time, Josh, were probably struggling as well, probably wasn't the best people to help you through that situation. And actually thinking about who are those other people who could help you. Is there somebody that actually kind of can give you that stability, instead of, like you said, somebody coming to the gaff and struggling themselves, and you're just in this spiral together.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
And like a lot of those old friends were there for me at the time, but again, I didn't speak to them. They had no idea I was feeling on the inside, and that's because I was still trying to understand and go through all that. So if you are feeling like that, just go through those emotions, take care of yourself, breathe, maybe watch a film, go for a run, whatever it is, but feel those emotions. And this is life. We've got to live the life. We've got to feel those emotions. And one day you'll have your own family, you'll be having your own Christmas, your own traditions.
You'll be creating your own stability for your own family.
Yeah.
So I feel like you said a little bit as well, is who have you got around you? Because it can be really easily for you to sort of be led down the wrong path, because sometimes people do that. But then also it's, have you got somebody that's there going, you're not going down there, come here, come on, like you're coming with me. And sometimes it can be really difficult, especially for kids and that around this age. They're all wanting to do the same thing. You're all sort of bouncing off each other. You're doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that, whatever. And I know, like, I've recently started to be that person, but for my little brother. So he's out and about on his bikes all the time, like doing this and doing that, and I'm really worried about him. What if he gets knocked over? What if he hits somebody? Whatever on this bike. So instead of nagging at him for the bike, I go, do you want to come for a drive in the car instead? And in fact, your mate can come with as well. So that instead of, like, that's me passing a different message on, but instead of it being so direct to don't do this and don't do that, come with and let's do this instead.
Yeah, what else are we going to do and put in place instead of focusing on
the negative?
So, Wow, literally
know,
the
that was a
time
lot, wasn't
has
it?
gone incredibly fast.
Nearly on the third podcast.
I know,
already.
honestly.
What's
So
going on?
just before Megan comes to join us, Demi's got to clean her car, and we're 2 weeks in and it's an absolute state already. So she is going to head off, clean the car so we don't get all
shall.
rubbish on our bums
I
when we
shall.
get back in. And then Megan is going to join us. And just to tell you a little bit about Megan is a care experience person who has been involved with the vision for some time, and she's also got an incredibly special role within her local authority who looked after her as a care experience person too. So within her local authority, she is the care experience champion for children and young people. So that is a role where she is the champion, she listens, she acts on young people and children's voices and makes significant changes to support them to influence the care, the support that they get, the corporate parents, so the local authority who provide care to the children and young people, tell the corporate parents, this is what we're doing well and these are the things that need to change. So let's meet the incredible Megan. Yeah, I'll do it. Fine.
But I'm not going to sell my candle for my...
Hi Megan. Lovely to have you on the Vision the podcast. Who are we? Oh, Megan, it's so nice to have you here. And I know that this time of year you are running around like a crazy person trying to organise over 100 and how many hampers is it for care leavers?
Just over 180.
180, which is
Yeah.
just amazing. And that's not including the wider appeal in terms of for younger children. There'll be about 500 hampers in total,
Yeah.
which is just amazing. Firstly, I wanted to ask you because we have known each other for so long, since 16, younger actually,
Yeah.
teenage Megan.
Yeah, so I have known Carly, well, I remember knowing Carly when I was about 15, 16,
Yeah.
but Carly says she remembers me when I was even smaller. So it's been more than about 10 years
Yeah.
that I've known you, yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, because you are a young person who has received one of the hampers when you were younger, and your personal advisor at the time, because your living situation was slightly different, you ordinarily wouldn't have had a hamper because you weren't living independently at that time. And actually your personal advisor said, Megan has done incredible things this year. Please, 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 could you have a hamper? And we're like, obviously, 100% you can have that. So I wanted you to talk about actually what did that mean for you, and what does that look like? And you've just corrected me in terms of how long ago it was.
So 8 years ago when I was 17, I received my Christmas hamper off my personal advisor, Gemma, and like Carly said, like when you live on a staying close support plan arrangement, you don't really get a Christmas hamper because it's only for people that live independent in their own house or someone that lives in a supported accommodation. So when I received my hamper at Christmas, I was so buzzing. Like as soon as Gemma dropped off, I went to my bedroom and I was like looking in it. And like you said about the quotes, I absolutely love quotes. Like I'm always on WhatsApp sending Carly and Josh and Demi quotes of the day. And I've still got my quotes. And then I have like this extra large Yankee candle, and it says on it like the smell of the candle called Shine Bright. And I did not light it at all. And then when I went to university, I had my quote and my candle, and I've still got both of them today after 8 years. And
Wow.
I think I've got about this much left in my candle.
That's impressive though, because I don't reckon I could keep hold of a candle for 8 years.
I don't know what else in the hamper must have like been binned or been used, or I don't know, or lost in trans.
Did you ever get a Saints top?
No, and I didn't get a Kindle either. So can I have my Kindle,
okay.
please?
Well, I didn't get a candle, so. And I
But
love the candles.
those things in terms of the local rugby club had said, actually,
Yeah.
can we give every young person a Saints top? And actually another amazing one, you both might have had this. There's a guy called Andy Reid who does incredible things for what's called the Standing Tall Foundation. He's a person who was in the armed forces and unfortunately had been in horrendous things in terms of and his limbs were amputated. So he did a book and it was called the Standing Tall, and he signed every single book that went into the care leavers hamper, again just giving that positivity of resilience and how you
I
overcome
do think
things.
I got that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it might
Maybe
be
I
good for
weren't
you to have a
in,
little
maybe
because
as interested. I'm interested now,
Yeah.
but maybe younger me maybe weren't as interested.
But how
in that
lovely
book,
in terms of somebody
yeah.
from St Helens, from the community, So Meg, in terms of for you, now you're in a position of actually supporting other young people to receive those hampers. How does that feel for you to be in that position of kind of going right the way through of having your candle and how that makes you feel to make sure that feeling passes on?
Like, obviously, Carly said, like, my living situation when I was with my nan, I was on a staying put. So I only had one hamper, which was off Gemma. So I'm so passionate to give them hampers to people who are waking up with no family. Like it proper drives me to like, I want this to be perfect. I want to do the hamper. Like, why should you wake up and then it's already crap time of the year? Like Demi and Josh have said, it's going to be more crap if you wake up with nothing. So that's like the driving power for me to be like, I want these hampers done. I want them to be perfect and stuff like that.
And the faces of people when you drop that off and is so
100%.
powerful. And you really want people to wait until Christmas Day, but actually when you drop that off earlier, they're already opened.
Yeah, like me running up to my bedroom.
Yeah, definitely.
I think with Megan as well, I think she's been going around. If nobody knew Megan, everyone does now, because she's been going around knocking on everyone's doors saying, like, can you donate for these hampers? So it just, you're so driven, aren't you, to make sure that every young person gets the hamper. And is there anything though that you've changed this year, maybe? Like, what's...
So this year that we've got change, and it's we've got like a wish list. Like Josh said, we did the Tuesday group, the Inner Spark Out of Voice, and we've listened to our young people. Bloody hell, my voice. We've listened to our young people, and we've said, like, this would make my Christmas if I got, instead of like a little chocolate coin, maybe a power bank or something like that. And practical, that we've got our wish lists, and we've been giving them out to businesses in the community, and
and it becomes...
It's not a wish list, it's Santa's list, by the way. Just corrected on that one.
I love it. You still gotta believe. You still gotta believe, otherwise it's not coming.
I actually heard Santa on my roof when I was little with his reindeers, because I had the bedroom in the loft, and I remember I was like, he's on my roof.
Do you know
he's
what?
on my roof.
When I lived with my nan, so the first time I lived with my nan when I was like 6 or 7-ish, I swear down, I seen an elf on Christmas Eve. Yeah. Bear in mind, now I'm older, I'm like, that was a dream. Like, it was a dream.
And if there's any kids listening to this podcast, you might be in the car. I don't know.
Do you know what?
There's loads of good elves running around making these hampers.
Can I also mention as well, the hampers and actually what's in them? We said those personalised things are so important, and Meg, you remember that Shine Bright, and somebody selected those candles specifically to make sure that actually that was about giving positivity and kind of, you are going to shine bright and you are shining bright. But also there was something about 1 year, actually, it can be really hard time-wise if you're one personal advisor or one social worker and you're trying to deliver all those hampers to your children, your families. And what was lovely 1 year is we had people who'd been involved with that young person. So it might be a young person who's 21 and their old social worker in the authority said, please can I take the hamper, because I would love to just have that little bit of a catch up, or I'd love to have that moment with them, or an old carer or somebody who's important. So actually that kind of connection again at a time that's really tough, of, like you said, Gemma dropping that off and Gemma just checking in with you and kind of making sure that you're okay and how you're feeling. But actually it might have been lovely in terms of somebody who you hadn't seen for a long time dropping that off. So how important it is, it's not just about the things, it's about the people and that kind of connection at that time. Two things is so important. One, how is our local authority celebrating this year to give people ideas? And two, what do people need to know about the Care Leavers Appeal, and how can they support, and what do our young people need?
So we're doing our Care Leavers Hamper Appeal, and we need donations because it heavily relies on donations. So we've had loads of donations for men's deodorant sets, shower gels, but we've seen a decline in female stuff, so we need more female hygiene stuff, stocking fillers, chocolate. We've bought some mugs and we're getting them like Christmas personalised. So everyone's going to get a Christmas mug with like hot chocolate, marshmallows. It's just going to be boss. Amazing. But we do need more donations. So if you can donate, I'll leave all the information in the comments below. And we're doing 2 Christmas parties this year. So we've got our Care Leavers Christmas party and our Care Experience Christmas party at the Town Hall. So if you're under 16, the party's at the town hall. It's going to be amazing. Like, I don't know if I can share the secret. Should I share the secret?
No.
But you have to be there. Like the
Okay.
little,
We'll be there.
the
Love a
little
party,
ones
like I
is
said
going to be
before.
boss.
I'm
Like
gonna
the
miss
things
it.
that we've bought and
love it.
everything that's been arranged for that is going to be good. Like
And
the
that's
photo
if-
opportunities is going to be.
Have we got a
amazing.
reindeer again?
No.
Oh,
we
look
got
at
something-
Josh, like devastated. But that is for St. Helens Care Experience Children and Young People. But I imagine if you're a young person who's listening or watching from any other authority, you will have something going on in your local authority. So please reach out to who your people are, whether it's your social worker, carer, find out what that is, because actually it's so important to celebrate with each other as well. So to summarise, in terms of for Megan's particular role, anything that you guys can do to support to make this magical for young people is so important. Those things, and one year we had people writing their own little quotes in terms of cards and putting that in. It doesn't have to cost money either. It could be just that little bit of a message that you want to put in. Sometimes we had carings from local church groups that they wanted to put in. It could be actually kind of, we said, in terms of those gifts for females, what we're struggling with at the minute, or it could be a case of actually, I'm struggling and I have no idea what to buy. Megan would more than happy run out to the shops if you do want to donate that in terms of kind of financial donations, and she can get something personal. That could be that candle that says shine bright for a young person that they've still got 8 years on. It's so powerful. So I just want to say thanks, Meg.
And we're packing the hampers between the 8th of December and the 19th of December, ready for them to be delivered on the 22nd, which is the Curlever Christmas party. So
Amazing.
if you come to the Christmas party, pick up your Christmas hamper. If not, we're going to that door and we're knocking on.
Yeah, and be like, here we go, open that door, not be like Josh hiding behind your sofa because you think it's somebody else. And the other aspect as well is the wider Christmas appeals within your authority. We're talking about our authority because that's where we live, that's where we work, that's what it means so much to us. And there are wider appeals for younger children within our authority. And actually, when people are packing over 500 hampers, volunteers are so welcome to help do that role, because actually you're sorting through different gifts. And there's an amazing lady called Tracy Sexton who is in our authority, has run that appeal for so many years, and she relies on people volunteering their time to do that. So if you want to support our authority, incredible. If you want to support your authority, reach out, and there will always be something where you can make a difference to children and young people's lives and families' lives, because the pressure and the stress at Christmas time, if you're struggling financially for some families, is huge. So I am going to welcome our Demi back onto, I was going to say stage then, but we're our lovely little rug, and we're going to get all four of us in. So I want to finish this episode firstly with a huge thanks to Salva Support again for sponsoring. We wouldn't be sat here if it wasn't for you guys. And our next episodes are going to be sponsored by Anchor Social Care, who have sponsored 2 episodes, and we feel incredibly grateful for that. We are wanting to be here consistently, so if you do want to support in terms of sponsorship, we would be so grateful for that, because we absolutely love being here and love kind of bouncing off each other, and hopefully we'll continue to make that positive impact. So to finish today with the Vision, the podcast, I wanted to hand over to all of us really in terms of a message that we can leave people with over this festive period to help people who may find it difficult. So Josh is looking at me like he wants to go first.
Yeah, so one thing just came to my head. My brother once said to me, do good and good will come to you. So that stuck with me. So I started making better decisions for myself. I started looking after my mental well-being, and I started doing good things. And look at me now, I'm sat on the Vision, the podcast. I'm surrounded by great positive people in my life. I'm doing really well for myself. But at that time, when I was really struggling around Christmas, that was the worst time in my life. So yeah, do good, overcome those difficult times. It's not going to be like that forever. Right now it might feel really difficult for you, but keep doing good, keep pushing yourself, keep trying, keep surrounding yourself with positive people, and yeah, hopefully one day you'll be sat on a podcast yourselves or doing whatever you're doing.
Incredible. Meg, over to you.
Well, I think I need to take my own advice, because what I'm going to say, I need to listen to myself, because I struggle when things don't go my way. Like, not in terms like have a hissy fit or toddler tantrum. I mean, like timings and stuff, and like in my head I feel like everything needs to be perfect, but it doesn't. Like, just slow down. And I think that's my message to people: just slow down. If things don't go your way or how you envision it and plan it, it's still okay. Like, it's okay to change plans.
So Megan, mine feels quite similar to yours in terms of feeling whatever you need to feel. And actually the reality is sometimes we think, I should be sad, I should be angry, I should be happy. And actually you're not always feeling those predictions like Demi said earlier. So actually just do whatever you need to do on that day, the next day, the week. What does that mean to you? And don't beat yourself up, because actually sometimes we're so judgmental to ourselves around, oh, I should be really smiley because I've just been given this incredible gift, but actually inside you're really sad. Or I should be really sad because everyone else is saying I'm really sad because I'm celebrating an anniversary or not really celebrating it. But that's just life. Our brains are wired at times to survive in different ways. So whatever you need to do to get through that time, do it, and just don't judge yourself, and apply that advice that sometimes we say of what advice would you give to a friend, apply that to yourself. So try and give those things, and whatever you need, just do it that day or that week or that month. And remember, you're not alone. There are people out there that can support you, whatever that is. If it is just a call, if it is a walk, if it is as you need to cry, I need to eat the double mac and
Double Big
chips,
Mac.
double Big Mac, whatever that is. Just do whatever you need to do. Yeah. So over to you, Dem.
So to me, I feel like a little bit touching on what Carly said, but kind of not. I say stop thinking. Stop thinking so much, because especially around this time of year, our brains are so powerful and they're very, very capable of taking over every thought that we might have. And that may be a positive or a negative, it doesn't matter, but it can feel times 10 sometimes. So it might be that you're happy, but you feel happy times 10. It might be that you're sad and you feel it times 10. And I think that's where we start overthinking, you start becoming overwhelmed, you don't know how to deal with your emotions, and then you might not turn up to that Christmas dinner because you don't feel like you deserved it, when realistically it's because you might have had a bit of a bicker the year before, and you think, oh, what if you're anxious because you think, I don't want it to go this way, whatever, when realistically you're thinking too much. Shut up, right? Shut your brain up, be quiet, and just get on with it. So like what Carly said before, prioritise yourself. What is it that you want to do today? Do you want to sit there in your wallow in self-pity like the Grinch did? Or do you want to go out and do you want to spread the love to everybody? Do you want to see every family member and have different Christmases? You don't have to bring all the family together and have a Christmas. You might nip to your granddad's and have one there. You might nip to your friends and have one there. Nip to your mum's and have one there. Whatever it is, you might stay at home and have a Christmas to yourself. I'm definitely having one with my cats. So thank you very much. And I've absolutely loved being here today, especially having Megan on today as well, having a new guest. It's been lovely. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an episode. I just feel so full with just love and gratitude and being around incredible people who are doing incredible things. So I'm hoping that you felt that when you listened and watched. We want to say a huge, huge thank you again for everybody who has taken the time to be part of this, taking the time to listen, taking the time to watch, and taking the time to actually sponsor us. It's just incredible. Salva Support and Anchor Social Care have already reached out to say that they want to sponsor some episodes, and we would love for you to continue with that journey with us. So please, 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 if you can, sponsor. And we wanted to leave you with a final message. So please, whatever you do this Christmas, just make it about you. Make sure that you're looking after yourself, and make sure that you're prioritising whatever you need to do at a time that may be difficult, may be happy, maybe full of emotions. So thank you, and we love you very, very much.
Bye. We love you.
We are the vision. We are the action. Give us your trust. Love is our reaction. Today you are so visible, so visible, so visible, so visible. Hope is the road you're walking. Trust is the door you're knocking. Sleep with both eyes closed now, safe. We got your back now. Tomorrow is an open book. Your joy is the oath we took. Invisibility for you is at an end. Breathe, you've got friends. We